In your package, there's a policy, a Fanshawe College policy titled Public Expression of Personal Opinion by College Employees. And there's a version of it that has some comments from a mystery person with the initials JT. Thanks, Jim. Thank you for your feedback. And I hope you don't mind me sharing it with the group. In terms of what we've experienced at Fanshawe, for us it's been a quest for information, to understand what it is that the college is involved in. And in that respect, the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act has been our friend. There are some things that you cannot request, but there are plenty of things that you can request. And I think it's best put by a mediator with the Information and Privacy Commission of Ontario. She told me, Darryl, if someone is doing business with a college, with a public college, the public has the right to know who is doing business with the college and what the terms of that contract are. And Fanshawe did try and prevent certain details of contracts with Coca-Cola, Sodexo, Chartwells, which is part of Compass Group, from being released, and we were successful in getting all of those contracts and the financial terms of those contracts. I want to be clear before I get into this that not all cooperation is bad, and I'm going to give you some examples from our FOI requests, and I'll label them the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the first one is a good one. Fanshawe, no, it wasn't Fanshawe directly, I'll get into this later, but enabled participants to go to the La Victoria School project in Liberia, Costa Rica. Championed by the Faculty of Human Services, participants included students, faculty, and alumni from child and youth worker, early childhood education, and practical nursing programs. Students enhanced their learning and employment prospects through their interaction with this special needs school. The children are often struggling with sexual abuse, extreme poverty, abandonment, forced child labor, and sometimes with mothers who are prostitutes, legal in Costa Rica, working from home, and with parents who have drug addictions. Past participants have become active allies in the support of the program and cite this experience as transformational. So that would be an example of college faculty, from Fanshawe students working, if you will, in solidarity on the ground in a place where help is truly needed. I'll maybe move to the bad. And this, I would say, is an example of where curriculum is just simply sold and given to someone else, and it's like, here you go, you deliver it. So this was a program in Lebanon, and of the 73 students, only 15 successfully passed. And in discussions, I don't know if it was a public or private university, but it says, in discussions with this university, it was determined that the test would not be administered in the coming year until such time as their program can be assessed by Fanshawe College. Due to the travel advisory from the Department of Foreign Affairs for Lebanon, it is not possible to visit Lebanon at this time. So you have a program somewhere else where we can't even visit, we don't know what's going on. And as they indicate here, not successful. Now, I want to show you this. You don't really need a close-up of it, because you'll notice it's a single page. This is the annual report of something called the Fanshawe International Corporation, or FIC, F-I-C. Now, when I first heard about FIC, I knew nothing about it. So I submitted an FOI request, and I asked for the location of its business offices around the world. The answer came back. We have one location, and that is room H1006, 1001 Fanshawe College Boulevard, London, Ontario, N5W5R6. So I thought that was interesting. But all of these arrangements are being run out of the administrative offices at Fanshawe. And for the most part, you wouldn't really know what was going on, and you wouldn't know much from the annual report because it's only this single page and not even a full page. I was able to obtain the financial statements, and marked in the upper right corner of every single page is the word unaudited. So I really don't know. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on. Now, the latest venture that we uncovered was something called the OCC, the Ontario College Consortium. And this was a consortium of 3 colleges, Fanshawe, Seneca, and Mohawk, to operate a school in Medina, Saudi Arabia. And you may have seen the press release and the comments from Smokey Thomas. Unlike the Costa Rica example I gave, this wasn't an opportunity to make a difference somewhere in the world. This was, as the senior vice president academic told us, this is an opportunity to make a profit. That was said to us. This was the reason to do this, was to make a profit. And the way that this has been set up is that you have the public entity, I guess the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, has constructed a college campus. The campus is already there. The buildings are there. The buildings are empty. There's absolutely nothing. I mean, the classrooms are there. There are no desks, but the rooms are all there, and it's empty. It's ready to go to have students in it. In terms of how the partnership is devised, the 3 Ontario colleges are set up as I would basically say the private entity of a public-private partnership. So you probably heard of P3s. In this case, the Ontario colleges are acting as the private entity trying to make a profit out of this venture. In terms of the venture, from the slide deck that was shown to the Board of Governors at Fanshawe College, there are a number of private partners, KPMG, Sodexo, you may recognize, Capita IB Solutions. And the risks are identified. And as Smokey Thomas had said, this is about placing a bet based on the college's good reputation. You know, can we go somewhere, deliver our curriculum, and attempt to make a profit? Because there is certainly risk. I mean, in the slides that were shown to the Board of Governors, out of the 5-year contract, they have an arrow pointing to year 4 because they're like, hey, we've got a 4-year payback. We have all of our money back after 4 years out of the 5-year contract. The problem with that is that the Board of Governors was also told that Saudi Arabia would want to take over the campus after 5 years. They would want to assume the curriculum. They would want to assume the responsibility once this college is up and running. So basically, there's only 1 year opportunity to make a profit. The profit margin they've predicted as 14%. Now, I know profit margin is different than contribution to overhead, but at Fanshawe College's campus in London, if you take the revenue and then subtract the expenses, our average is 39% contribution to overhead. So that means for every student dollar, whether that's coming from tuition or government, 39 cents can then be shifted to overhead to operate the college. That's a pretty stunning number. In fact, we have some programs in the School of Business, where the contribution to overhead is close to 70%. That means 70 cents out of every dollar is, if you will, quote unquote, profit. So it's not like the programs that we have aren't financially viable. They are. They do generate revenue, and they do generate positive economic activity in our communities. So I guess my points would be that we should be aware, and the public should be aware, and the boards of governors of colleges should be aware of what is going on, and they should have the information in front of them to make sound and wise decisions. Governors at our college especially, they tend to have a business background, and they think of the college as being a business enterprise. They need to understand that they're representing the public, the citizens of Ontario. If you read the legislation, the CAT Act, and think about what the board is really supposed to do, they're appointed as members of the community to be the governors of the college and have a fiduciary responsibility to the citizens of Ontario. So with that, I'll wrap up. Thank you.